Hello my friends, my name's Gene Arnold and thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Regular Guy Mountain Biking. In this episode, we're going to be talking about grips. Now specifically, we're going to talk about how grips have been feeling for me. I know that grips are a very personal thing. Everybody will have their own idea on what works for them. I just want to let you know what worked for me, right? Was it a thin grip? Was it a wide grip? Did the gloves make a difference? I figured I'd just break it all down for you in this video and maybe it'll help you out. So stay tuned. All right, let's talk about grips. So here's the deal. I find that grips are way more important than people might give them credit for, because grips can really decide, kind of like your seat, how long you can ride. I mean, bottom line is once you starting to feel uncomfortable, you're done, right? You don't want to keep going. And I found that with particular grips, I was having a lot of problems with I guess it's this tendon on my, right between my thumb and I guess was that my pointer finger right there? Right here. And specifically, I mean, like this one's a little bit tighter than this one. So what was happening is I was riding more and more, that tendon was just hurting after a while. And I couldn't keep riding. It actually was hurting quite a bit. I did try some different gloves, and what I found was when I was while I was winter riding, right, I usually would have a thicker glove on with a lot more padding in it, so I wouldn't feel it quite as much. And when I was riding downhill, often it'd be a little bit more pad on the inside. But when I was doing most of my riding, my cross-country riding, I was generally using a standard glove, right? There's really no padding on the inside over here or on the underside, right? Especially since it gets hot in the summertime, you want a very thin glove to keep cool. So what I did was I started trying different types of grips. What's odd is I don't really have a very large hand. So you would think that a dude with a little hand would probably want to go with a smaller grip. But again, that really wasn't working for me. So what happened was a buddy of mine had sent me, because I was trying different grips, a set of the Lizard Skin North Shore grips. And they've got a softer compound, but they've got a wider diameter than the standard grip. In fact, let me get you some measurements right now. A narrow grip is probably going to fall within the, what do we got here? Yeah, what do we got? We got 29, almost 30 millimeters. Most narrow grips seem to be right around that same place. Yeah, another 29. This was an ODI Ruffian, and this is a race face. I don't know if there's a model for this one. Okay, and a lot of the normal, like, smaller grips seem to have that type of diameter, and that really wasn't working well for me. Now, I mentioned a wider grip seemed to work a little better for me, a wider diameter. So these Lizard Skin guys, this is a 32, yeah, little 32, almost a 33 diameter grip, again, opposed to the 28 and a half, almost 29. That's a lot, okay? It might not sound like a lot, but it really is a lot. And what I found was that this wider diameter just seemed to not be as sharp and harsh on my hand, and I was able to ride so much more. I also think that the rubber compound on these Lizard Skin North Shores, very soft and very comfortable. And I was riding these on a lot of my bikes. So, big props to Lizard Skin. This isn't sponsored. I bought the grips. Well, these were given to me, but the ones I put on my other bikes, I bought. I'm just trying to talk about grips. Now, another set of grips that people said I should really try are the ones from Argon. And they kind of have this way about them that's supposed to be a little bit better for your hand. I didn't like them. In fact, every time I had a set of Argons, I just took them off and never used them. Now, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's a flavor thing. Everyone's got their own taste. So you may love Argons, and I am not saying these are bad. Not in the least. Not even close. They didn't work for me. And I had to find some other grips that did. Case in point, I want to bring up an example of, again, really liking a company, but not being able to use their grips. If you don't know already, I'm a big fan of Pacific Northwest. I use their stuff on all my bikes. I really like them a lot. But the tough part was, guess what? Their grips, right? We're looking at 30 millimeters, okay? So we're right into that small grip size. And I'm not lying to you folks. I really wanted to support this company. I still support this company. So I wanted to use their grips. I just couldn't. It just hurt my hand and it was killing me. I'm like, man, I love these guys. I want to use all their stuff. And I couldn't. Luckily, Pacific Northwest came out with their extra large grips. 32, almost 33 diameters. So here we have the same style grip. Like right now, you could argue that, well, Gene, you know what? You tried all these different styles. It could have been a number of things that made your hand hurt. You can't actually say it's 100% the diameter. And that would be a fair statement. I really couldn't argue with that. It happens to be the case, but I can't guarantee that, right? But now I got a little bit more specific. It's even the same grip pattern. These are identical grips other than the diameter. And now I can ride these grips. These Pacific Northwest grips of the extra large size are doing great, and these are the grips that I put on my latest build Bone Shaker. Now the pumpkin's riding the North Shores because these weren't out yet, and again it kept on hurting me, and I wanted to use their grips but I couldn't. All right, folks, that's going to kind of wrap things up. That's really all I wanted to kind of cover in this video. I just felt it was important to talk about grips because it's so important to make sure you feel comfortable on your bike, and you might not know why your hand is hurting, and you're thinking, well, you know, I'm using grips that everyone seems to like. Why are they hurting my hands? So I'd love to get some comments down below on the grips that you like to use and explain to folks why. Do you like a wider grip? Do you like a thinner grip? Do you like one with more padding on? Do you like to ride with no gloves? Do you like to ride with gloves with padding? There's a gazillion combinations, but clearly you've probably found a combination that works for you. So let us know what it is in the comments. In the meantime, this is Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Thanks so much for watching this video. Keep the party on the pedals, my friends, and I will check you out in the next video. Bye-bye.